This is a piece of the OG shocker. It's mild steel. I got Kye's mom, Miss Tammy, she had somebody swipe me a piece of this without Kye's knowledge. This looks like it's less than an 1/8 inch thick, and I'm gonna say a 1 inch diameter. I was hoping for a piece of 1.5 inches and was hoping it was, I don't know, at least an 1/8 of an inch thick. But what I'm gonna try to do is, there's a seam inside here. I'm gonna try to split it down that seam and open it up and flatten it out and cut it into 2 pieces, and then sandwich those 2 pieces around a good piece of high carbon steel like this, something that'll make a good knife. Got plenty of carbon in it. And we're gonna try to make Kye a skinning knife. He likes a deer hunt. Now let's get started and see what we can do. Get in there. There it is. It's flat. Now I gotta figure out, I'm gonna split it into 2 pieces or 4 pieces. All right, we got it flattened out. Mark the ends. I'm gonna square them off. You see there, this thing's only 80 thousandths thick. So what I think I'm gonna do, it's 8 inches long, 3 3/4. I think I'm gonna cut it into 4 pieces, and then we'll have 2 pieces on one side of the carbon steel core and 2 on the other. I was hoping to cut it in half, get one 8-inch thin billet, forge the knife shape out, but what we're gonna wind up with is a thicker 4-inch long by 1 3/4 inch, something like that, billet, and then we'll have to draw that out stretch it out, and forge the shape of the knife. All right, we got it marked out, 1 13/16, and then 4 inches. Let's get that cut out. There's the 4 pieces of the shocker. Took that, put it on this 1084 high carbon steel, traced it out. Go cut this out now. Alright, so we got the high carbon steel cut out. So we got the 4 pieces of shocker. We'll put 2 on this side, 2 on that side. I'll MIG weld it on, just kind of tack weld it in the corners, probably weld a handle on it. We'll put it in the forge after these pieces are cleaned up on the grinder. You're gonna clean them up real good so they'll actually forge weld together. But we'll put them in the forge, heat them up to about 2200 degrees, and we'll set the welds on the power hammer and turn this into one solid piece of steel. And then we'll draw it out, hopefully about twice this length, so about 8 inches. It'll get longer, but it's going to get narrower, and hopefully that's enough steel to get us about a 8-inch skinning knife. Once the knife is forged out, we'll profile it, start grinding the bevels in on the cutting edge, and what it'll do is we'll grind away this mild steel close to the bottom here, and it'll reveal this high carbon steel for the cutting edge. So it'll make a good knife that'll stay sharp and hold an edge. That's the plan anyway. Go ahead. There's the 4 pieces. After getting them cleaned up on the grinder. A piece of carbon steel. And I'm gonna cut 2 more pieces of mild steel out of this 3/16 plate. That's gonna be like after we ground the pieces of the shocker clean so it was forged well, it came out to be about 50 thousandths thick each. So it's fairly thin stuff. So what I'm gonna do is put these pieces of mild steel, one here, and they're gonna act like sacrificial pieces basically. It'll all be forge welded together. We'll lose most of this to forge scale, going in and out of the forge, and then grinding. So instead of losing all of the, or most of the pieces of the shocker to forge scale and forge welding and grinding, we'll put these pieces on and use that as sacrificial pieces. So when all that's, we lose a lot of that to scale and grinding, we'll just be getting right back down to where the shocker layer is. So that's the next step. That's good. Put it in WD-40 now and let it soak before we stick it in the forge.
billets. That's a hot. Ain't gonna get hard.
One solid piece of steel now with a shocker heart. Not really. All right, what I decided to do right here, instead of forging the knife to shape and taking a chance on disrupting the layers I had in the billet, I just decided to lay the pattern of the knife onto the billet, scribe it out, cut it out on the bandsaw, and then finish profiling it here on the 2x72. Got it pretty much ground to shape. Started the false edge up there. I'm gonna stick it in this ferric chloride. We'll etch it, and we should be able to see where the carbon steel is and where the shocker mild steel is. See that dark line? That's the carbon steel core right there. Do this side. Now we just gotta grind the bevels in. I'm gonna taper this tang so it'll be thick up here and it'll taper back to pretty thin in the back to take some weight out of the handle. Working on the final grind, and I put some fullers in to get rid of some weight back here on the handle. Then I used a height gauge to mark center of the blade, and then I started tapering the tang back here. Thick here, tapered here. Can you see that line right there? Boo? You see it? Trying to keep that line center all the way down and taper this tang down. I'm gonna mark this. I want this taper to stop somewhere right in here. So I'm just gonna mark this so I can tell where I'm grinding. Good. Got a good taper. Got it centered. Rounding the bevels in. Got to keep that edge center. We're getting there. Go to that quench tank over there. Good. Alright, remember, one of the first 1,000 subscribers to the channel will win one of my custom hand-forged knives. So if you're enjoying these videos and you could use a free knife, subscribe to the channel.